Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Bargain Bin podcast. My name is Jack, and I'm joined here by my two favourite co-hosts.
My name's Nick.
My name's Adam.
And together, we're the Bargain Bin podcast.
Yay.
So, our first film today that we're going to be discussing is the one, the only, Piranha 3D, that we didn't watch in 3D.
When we started watching
We
it
started
3D.
watching it
Yeah,
3D.
and then our eyes hurt after 30 seconds.
Piranha 3D, the horror comedy from 2010.
It was 2010.
2010,
I was
yeah.
11 when that came out.
Yeah.
Prime target audience for the gripping storyline.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I guess I'll start by explaining when we picked up this DVD from the bargain bin and we looked inside the case, there were two pairs of cardboard, 3D glasses that you'd find in like the back of a children's book or something as a little quirk. And we attempted to watch the film in 3D, but within a minute we all had headaches.
Apart from me, because there was only two pairs, so I couldn't watch it.
Well, I admire your commitment, because when we put it on, you just sat there and thought, I'm going to have to watch it like this.
Yeah, exactly. I really wasn't fussed. I mean, I knew that the story wasn't going to be
Oh, yeah.
the...
My favourite thing, though, was the glasses were from the Final Destination film.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
were
were from
they?
Final Destination 3D glasses,
I didn't even see that.
not
It was
Piranha
dark.
3D glasses.
I mean, you know, who does it really matter? Just 3D
I want
glasses.
on-branding 3D glasses for my discount 3D films.
I do wonder though. You know, you can get those like 4K 3D like films.
Yeah.
Do you think they come with like the actual 3D glasses that you get at like the cinema and all that?
You
Or-
get ones with, if you get a 3D TV,
Yeah.
you get ones with them, which are like more high tech. They have buttons on to like turn them on.
Oh.
You
Instead
actually
of-
have to like put batteries in
Instead
them
of
and
like
stuff.
these red... Was it red and blue?
Yeah,
red,
exactly.
one red lens, one blue lens.
Yeah.
Though
Which,
it was
like,
that kind.
It works, but at the same time, like, do you think when this film came out, that was how they did the 3D?
No, when was Avatar?
That was 2009.
There you go, then.
Was Avatar in 3D?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was this big thing.
Was that the big
That's what
thing?
Because it was like the
brought back
first,
3D.
the
Oh.
first film that was... No, it wasn't the first film. What was the first film that was done in 3D? There was like
There's been 3D films since like the
No.
60s.
Yeah, but
There
it was like
experimental
filmed
The
ones.
Return.
filmed only. It was like I can't remember
How
what it
to
was.
Train Your Dragon? I remember that being like one of the first ones I saw.
No, I swear there was like something that was filmed exclusively in 3D, and it was like the first film to properly.
Oh, Jack, I know what film you're thinking of. I bet you were thinking of the hit film Chicken Little from 2005,
Wow.
November the 4th.
What a great piece of knowledge you've plucked out your head, and we didn't have to stop and Google.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. In fact, that was actually wrong. I've just read the other one. It was Deep Sea 3D.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah. That's actually what I was thinking
I don't
of.
know
Yeah.
what that is.
I
but
was.
I think it's a
have you not
documentary.
heard of the hit film Deep Sea 3D?
I'm afraid I haven't.
Hey Nick, do you know who is in Piranha 3D?
Who is in Piranha 3D, Jack?
The hit actor who only does terrible films apart from the 3 films that he did at the beginning of his career, Christopher Lloyd.
That wasn't the beginning of his career,
I
Jack.
don't
He had a
know.
whole history of TV shows which were very successful.
Yeah, but come on, who?
Taxi, Christopher Lloyd and Danny DeVito,
No.
an original American sitcom. No?
No.
Is that
Anyway,
what-
Christopher Lloyd of Back to the Future fame was in Piranha 3D as a crazy scientist character.
Playing Doc Brown.
Yeah, basically.
Just basically.
Can I just say on the like Google thing, he's not on there at all. Like,
Yeah,
You
The
wouldn't want
Richard.
to be, would you?
The
Yeah,
list of cast on Google is only half complete.
Yeah, but as in like they
'Cause-
had wet t-shirt host, parasailing girl, like they had these random
They
characters,
don't
and
have-
they don't have Christopher Lloyd.
Arguably the 3 biggest names from the film, Christopher Lloyd, Ving Rhames and Adam Scott,
Yeah,
are
none
not
of
on
them.
the Google cast. They're only on the IMDb cast, which is
What-
very weird.
What I did find interesting though is that Richard
Oh yeah,
Dreyfuss.
Richard Dreyfuss, Hooper from Jaws.
Yeah.
He has a cameo at the start.
Yeah,
He's the old man. So at the start, the film starts with an old man on a boat fishing, and he drops a beer into the water, and it opens up a crack at the bottom.
That's what causes the crack, right?
And, yeah, and it opens a
What a
crack
great
at the
MacGuffin.
opens a crack at the bottom of the lake, and it goes into another underground lake filled with piranhas, and that's where the piranhas start to come from. And the whole premise is there's like a spring break festival on this lake, and the piranhas start eating everyone.
Mm. I mean, it's like a lake in the middle of nowhere. Like, I
Yeah.
don't really know why you'd go to spring break there.
It's
You go to-
inconsistently large, isn't it?
Yeah,
It
sometimes
feels really
it
small
looks.
and then it's like an ocean.
Yeah, Sometimes you do get like aerial shots of it that it doesn't look that big, and then you get the shots of them when they're at like the spring break thing. It looks just like the sea.
The sea,
I'm pretty
yeah.
sure they just filmed it at the seaside.
I mean,
and then-
probably.
Yeah.
Or Brighton.
Yeah. I'd love it if they filmed it in Brighton.
Everyone would be really cold.
Yeah, but exactly, it would work for the film's favour.
It would.
It would work exactly for the favour of the film.
If you want to know what we mean, pick up Piranha 3D at your local DVD store.
But only if you're 18 years and up, because that is the
Yes.
legal requirement to be able to watch this film.
Mm.
So, Jack, what was your favourite moment from Piranha 3D?
Well, firstly, do you want my actual favourite moment, or do you want the favourite moment that I'll do for radio?
I want both. I want both, and I'll cut out the first one.
Well,
Make sure you get that the right way around.
Yeah.
Well, my favourite scene in it was the one that Adam just mentioned, which obviously, if you're listening on the radio, sucks to be you. Listen to it on YouTube. And the other favourite one, I guess, was when they electrocute all the piranhas or something. Spoilers, but you're not going to watch this film, so
They might.
They
It's-
might.
Of all the ones we've watched so far, this is probably the most. Someone's going to go back and I'll watch that.
maybe.
No.
Fair enough.
Apart from the good ones.
I mean, yeah, discounting the
I
good
mean, what
ones.
we've done so far on this show.
Oh.
We literally had like 5 minutes just saying, "Watch Children and Men, watch Children
Yeah.
and Men."
Oh
So-
yeah, we did Children of Men. Okay, the second.
Hey guys, you should go watch Children of Men.
yeah, go watch Children and Men. It's real good.
It is James Gunn's favourite film. No, well done. Second.
Second
Keeping in the
favourite
lore
film.
of the lore of the podcast. Second favourite film.
Got to keep that continuity.
So yeah, Piranha 3D.
What was your favourite bit in it, Nick?
My favourite bit was where Ving Rhames broke off the propeller of a boat and proceeded to chop up all the piranhas with it in the water slowly while he was dying and sinking.
It's an
He was
amazing scene.
Throwing a propeller about, killing all the piranhas, and it was amazing.
Right. Small tangent to the sequel. Have you seen the trailer for the second one?
What?
No.
Piranha 3 Double D.
Do you want to know what happens in the trailer?
What?
It's amazing. They Evil Dead it.
He comes back with
Not-
propeller hands.
No, he doesn't come back with propeller hands.
Comes back
He
with
comes
propeller
back-
legs.
Better than propeller legs. Gun legs.
Gun legs.
You're joking.
I'm not joking. It's
Tune
like-
in next week for Piranha 3
He
Double D.
literally- the scene they keep him in is like, you don't know who it is, and he sits down and goes, "I'm back. Somebody get me my legs." And you see him attach them, and they're just guns.
God damn it.
No, I'm actually looking this up.
I hope it's guns.
I
I
refuse
think it's
to
guns.
believe this is like two.
Get me my legs. I remember that bit.
Is it guns?
Oh my god, he is.
It's amazing, isn't it? People at home, I do recommend you go and Google this right now.
I'm watching.
Oh look, if you want to actually look, this is what you can do. You can buy the Deputy Fallon's in brackets Ving Rhames shotgun leg with accessories.
Ooh,
We can buy it.
let's buy it, boys.
I'm gonna see how much it is.
Oh my god, this is the first purchase
It's
we're going to make with all the
nice.
money we're making from the show.
Okay, so if we all chip in,
Brayford Radio are paying us vast amounts. They
Yeah.
just don't realise it yet.
it's only £770.
Wow.
it's worth it, and then we can cut one of our legs off and then have gun leg.
Speaking of Brayford Radio, at Brayford Radio on Twitter and at Brayford Radio Station on Instagram. Keep in touch, keep in contact, know what's going on. Give us a follow.
If you want to contact the show, why not get hold of us on our email, which is thebargainbin@gmail.com.
Sorry, can I just say on this same website there are. I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's called a prop store, but you can buy all of the props they used in this film. You can buy a piranha for it. You can buy one of the eggs. You can buy
Let's buy a piranha.
Get a
one of
piranha.
the exploded piranha fishes. You can buy.
Do you want to set up a Patreon?
There's so
So we
many.
can buy the
So we
piranha.
can buy rubbish props.
No, they're not. No, they're not rubbish though. I mean, they better not be for costing like 1,200 quid.
These,
but-
that'd be the actual ones.
Yeah, the actual ones, but it's from Piranha 3 Double D.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't
That's
Do we
why
want
I'm,
to spend 1,200 quid on some props from Piranha 3 Double D?
that's why I'm looking at
Jack?
some of the other stuff. You can buy Cyclops' glasses.
Oh, which one?
The X-Men, like the
Yeah, I know which. I meant
Yeah,
which
but
version?
which
There's like
version?
19 Cyclops. at
Like
this
the
point.
original X-Men or like the days of... No, not the days of
Or the one
Future
with Baby
Past,
Driver
Or
at the
the...
moment.
Well,
yeah.
I was
It's
saying
not Baby Driver.
Was it not him?
No,
I was saying the one with Patrick
The other
Stewart,
one.
it's a different guy.
like the 2002.
What's he else he been in? He looks really similar.
A lot of stuff.
However, those Cyclops glasses are $2,000.
What if
which
they
is-
actually shot ruby quartz laser beams?
I'd love it if they did. That'd be amazing. Oh, you can buy the Lawnmower Man 2 paraphernalia
Wasn't
For
that a
150 quid.
Stephen King book?
Yeah.
The Lawnmower Man.
The first one was a short story,
Oh.
but it had nothing to do with what they did in the film.
What, lawnmowing?
No.
I've not seen the film.
But like, I swear they went completely different routes from the film, or from the book. Sorry.
Stephen King is too spoopy for me.
Yeah. I really want to read The Shining at some point because I really like the film. You can buy the
Welcome to the
stabby.
segment of the show where we talk about props you can
These
buy
are
on the
really
internet.
cool.
where we
though.
just listen to Jack reading off her website.
If you want to do
But
this,
they
I've got
are
some
very
eBay orders you
interesting.
want to hear.
This is really cool. You can buy the Dread Circular Justice Department sign.
Wow.
What?
Look, you can buy the Justice Department.
Oh, the big
Yeah.
floor decoration.
Anyway, Piranha 3D. I want to know what you thought of the special effects in the movie, the gore, because I thought half of it was awful,
Yeah.
and half of it was really good effects.
Yeah, there's an up and down thing. I think the practical stuff is also 50-50, but when it's done well, it's done real over the top gore, really good, like in your face, and then some of it's just like
Some
they're
bits-
holding like tissues
yeah.
on their arm which are painted red.
Some bits look awful like that, but there was one scene, like some of it looks genuinely good, and you would not expect it from this film.
I reckon for rendering water with the budget, that's all right. I think for like basically a proper B movie with water in it as most of like the setting, not too badly done.
No,
I think it's had a decent budget though.
yeah.
What are they
probably
paying?
didn't
All
have a
the
big
extras.
budget.
Well, there was a lot of extras, but I do think I said this before we were watching this. I'm pretty sure the extras were there because they were promised like free barbecue and beer.
Probably.
Because like there was a lot of extras on it.
Imagine there was a lot of signs and waivers that had to be filled in the
Yeah.
production of this.
Quite
Do you
a few.
mind showing off your whole body in this film?
We'll give you a barbecue and a beer.
Like, yeah, sure, why not?
What company made this
Oh,
again?
there's one thing. This film was produced by Bob and Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which makes it a bit
yeah.
weird.
Which
made
makes
it
like
a
the
bit
whole,
weird.
the whole weird subplot that's in
Yeah.
this even weirder.
There's a subplot of an adult film being filmed on a boat with teenage girls.
Yeah, that was a really weird subplot. It took up quite a lot of the film. Like
Yeah, it was like
the piranhas
60%
really,
of the
yeah,
film.
the piranhas really didn't get involved as much as you would think.
No. It's
I guess
just
it's like
whenever
Jaws,
someone
isn't it?
fell in the water, a piranha would swim near their leg. And then there was a whole like 20-minute sequence at the Spring Break Festival place where everyone was just being eaten. And then in the climax, the piranhas were just chasing them around. And that was about it.
Of which, by the way, some of the special effects were actually pretty good. Like, there's a bit where somebody gets no. You were saying about the visual effects, but I'm saying about the special effects. So like,
We were talking about the practical special effects, not the visual
sorry,
effects.
I'll cut that out.
I'm not going to cut that out, Jack. You should have been listening
Sorry.
instead of on your phone.
I was looking at all those props. You could buy, from the first
No, we're not going there again.
No,
Stop,
just slight
stop,
tangent.
stop.
If
You
this is
can
what I
buy-
think it is, I might buy it.
You can buy it from. It definitely isn't what you're thinking of. The Scorpion from the first Transformers.
Ooh, yeah.
You can buy the tail of that for like £15,000.
Oh, but it is the tail. I was
Yeah.
hoping it was the Allspark. I was like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
to
that
have.
would be kind of cool.
My favourite bit. Well, do I have a favourite bit? My favourite bit of the film is the bit that made me the squeamish the
That's a
most,
word.
which is where Troy, who is the protagonist's, this is a long connection, the protagonist's semi-girlfriend's boyfriend, the big butch guy,
Oh yeah.
when he goes mental and steals a boat
Yeah. He
and
steals
just
a boat,
drives the boat through hundreds of people panicking in the water
Yeah, and it's
and kills.
He kills more people than the piranhas do.
Yeah.
He's
in
the
that
biggest
scene.
menace of this film. It should be called Troy 3D, this film. Oh, there's already a film called that.
Oh yeah, there is, isn't there? Yeah. Okay, that took me a minute to remember, but yeah.
Look at that. That's what film knowledge. That's what people tune in for. Clever film puns. He just plows through loads of people and you see them just go flying in the air. And what I really liked, as this big long scene starts, you can see there's a girl swimming behind the boat, and it looks like that maybe she's just like holding onto the boat, but she's actually played into the next scene where she's the girl that got her hair.
Oh god, yeah.
She gets her hair caught in the propeller.
Yeah.
And obviously he's trying to start the propeller again. It's really like there's loads of close-ups. It's all tense, and they do a practical effect of her face just flying off as he turns it on, which does then do a really weirdly nice like transition cut to the boat, which is stuck in some reeds with the same kind of propeller problem. And I thought, why is this film suddenly going to turn into, oh, we're going to do clever artsy cinematography now in the middle of this kind of, hey, look, here's some breasts, here's some gore.
Gore fest, breast fest.
Do you know what I also liked about this film?
What?
Not only is Christopher Lloyd of Back to the Future fame in this film, but there is another character who also appeared in Back to the Future, but namely Back to the Future 2 and 3. And that was the girl they replaced Jenny with. So in the first film, all the characters, Jenny and George McFly, are played by a different actor in the sequels because they didn't want to come back and do it for some weird reason. So Elizabeth Shrew, who is the police lady who tasers a piranha, which I
probably
thought
kills more people with that same taser.
She killed all those people, is Jennifer from the Back to the Future film.
Oh.
Which is nice to see them two back together in a film.
Yeah.
Made me happy.
I'm sure they had good memories from filming on that.
Do you remember when we made a better film? You were still playing the mad scientist in that one. You've really moved on as a character.
And then they compared bank accounts and had equally little money, which is why they were doing this.
We have to go back and stop the piranhas, Marty.
I was really hoping for I thought this film would be, hey, we've got him for a reference. But no.
I really don't like in-your-face references, so I would have walked out.
What do you mean walked out?
That's why I didn't like Fanboys.
Yeah.
Which you'll hear about at some point.
Anyway, I think that's enough of Piranha. Before we move on, let's jump back to something we haven't done for a while. Let's bring back the arbitrary rating system. Jack, give us an arbitrary rating system and tell me what you thought of Piranha.
Okay, so I like Piranha. I thought it was... I don't know, it's hard to rate because it is just a very, very B-movie. You know, like it...
Would you call it a double D movie?
Yeah, I go with that. And yeah.
How many piranhas out of 10, Jack?
Okay, I would give this film 6 piranhas out of 10.
4.
Piranhas out of 10, or
4.
just 4?
Just the number 4.
4.
I'd give it 8 piranhas out of 10 for being the most piranha film I've ever seen. Right, on to the next section of this show, without any form of transition or indeed jingle. It's the game!
Yay, the game time.
Whoa, it's a game.
What did we call it? Quick make a movie.
Yeah, quick make a movie.
Okay.
Welcome to Quick Make a Movie!
Dun 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 dun.
Oh, you're screwed now, because each week I'm going to make you do that.
Well, no, because the first week we did game.
Each week you're going to do a different one now,
Each
Jack.
week there's going to be a different jingle.
Oh,
Welcome
Jack's
to the
gonna
world's
do it.
most inconsistent podcast.
Right, last week, well, not last week, whenever we last made a podcast, I was the one that had to make a quick film out of a character from a film and another film in general.
Yeah, but it can be anything.
It can be
It can be anything. So this week, it's Nick's turn.
Yay.
So we're going to have a countdown from 5. We're going to say a film character or a film or whatever, and then Nick's got a minute to think of something in his head and then say it to us.
A plot for a film.
Yeah.
Yes.
Taking those two things. So when we did it last time, I said Paul Blart Mall Cop, and Jack said Jake Peralta from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and you came up with that was quite an easy one because Adam came up with the idea of basically Jake Peralta being a mall cop,
Yeah.
which was a very straightforward one.
And where else can you go with it, really?
Yeah.
And how has that not been an episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine? Unless
I
it is
don't
in the
know.
5th season, which I haven't seen.
It might
so,
be.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I'm down for that one.
have you guys got something in your mind?
Does it have to be a film character or it can be an actor?
It can be...
Yeah, I suppose it has to be a character.
Yeah.
Okay, character, okay.
Wait, so a character, and so what, I have to say a film then? Because if you just say 2...
Well, no, because you can just give an idea of 2 characters, and I can do that.
Okay, sure.
You
Okay.
can do whatever you want.
Just give me 10
A
seconds.
location, a film, a character, TV show, an object, whatever you want, and I have to make a film out of it.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Give us a countdown from 5 and we'll say them together.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Gromit.
Trinity from the Matrix.
So we've got Gromit from the hit animated show Wallace and Gromit, and we have Trinity from the Matrix. Okay.
Jack, you really love that one, didn't you?
Because I'm just imagining Gromit in the
Don't
latex.
spoil my idea. Do not spoil my idea, Jack. Do not spoil my idea.
I'd like to see where you go with this silent character.
Okay. So, imagine. Fade in from black on the blue wallpaper with the bones on it of Gromit's bedroom, there's a slight green tint on the screen. Gromit wakes up, stands up, and walks down the stairs. He walks into his living room and sees the back of a person he doesn't quite recognise. That person turns around. It is Gromit in a suit with sunglasses on. He says, "How are you this morning, Gromit?" Gromit gives him a blank stare. Then Wallace pulls out a gun and starts firing at Gromit. So Gromit has to run away. And as he runs away, he passes a phone. And on this phone is Trinity from The Matrix in a black trench coat. She's phoning in to the Matrix system. And she's like, "Oh, I got to help this dog." So Trinity chases Gromit. She catches him. She pulls him out the Matrix. And she introduces him to Keanu Reeves. She introduces him to Morpheus. And Gromit is now part of the Matrix team and goes back in, and Gromit's in a trench coat doing all the fighting with all the bullets in slow-mo, and the whole time he's still got that sad, silent face. And then at the end, he has to kill the Mr. Smith Wallace clone, and Trinity has to help him, and then Gromit dies.
Oh.
Is he
That's real
resurrected
sad.
at the end like that Jesus imagery in
Revelations.
The film is called The Matrix. The Matrix Reloaded.
That was the second one.
Reloaded to the wrong trousers.
I was really disappointed you didn't go with my idea of having Gromit being in the Trinity latex coat thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I just thought I'd say that because
dead air. We're in shock. We didn't think of that.
Oh no.
Because that was my immediate thought when Gromit and Trinity came up. So just thought I'd let you know that.
I'd like the idea that instead of Wallace being the Agent Smith characters, it was Feathers McGrew.
Feathers McGrew, the penguin. I should have included him. But oh well.
That was good. That was a good game.
It was a good game. Tune in next week for another game on the Bargain Bin podcast.
On Brayford Radio. Thanks for the outro music, Jack.
Thanks, Jack. On to our next film.
Next
the
film.
2001 heist drama thriller, The Score, starring Robert De Niro, Edward Norton, and Marlon Brando.
The most boring film I've seen with such a good cast.
It's a great cast, and you see thriller heist movie, you think this is going to be amazing. Robert De Niro and Edward Norton robbing a place. It is so dull.
Yeah.
For reference, I've been promised a heist film since we've been doing this because I love heist films. And the last time I was promised a heist film by you, it was a film called The Opposite of Sex, which one day we'll probably get round to talking about. And I've never been bored to tears because that movie bored me to tears. And I was really looking forward to another heist film. And you came on with The Score, and 90% of this film is just dull character stuff where they're in different rooms just talking to each other. 10% of it is a vaguely interesting heist.
The heist itself, towards the end of the film, was an okay heist.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah,
It was alright.
the heist was good, but the rest of the film, the hour and a half to get to the heist,
Yeah,
was so dull.
There's a whole jazz club subplot which I wasn't paying attention
Yeah,
to.
Robert De Niro's got to do the heist to help Marlon Brando pay money for his jazz club because Marlon Brando's like the fence that sells all the items, and Edward Norton is this new kind of like hacker kid who's set up the heist and wants a bigger cut and has to work with Robert De Niro. And all the way through, Edward Norton does this thing where the character he's playing is this cocky young guy, thinks he's too big for his boots, he wants more money on the heist, but his in for the heist is working as a janitor at the building that they're going to rob. But in order to be a janitor at this building, he is constantly doing his best Rain Man impression, so no one suspects him. And it is awful and quite offensive.
Oh yeah, it's not like it's not tastefully done because the character's not tasteful.
No.
But neither is the story. It's really it is quite offensive, but does it serve it? Basically, what I'm trying to get at, does it serve its purpose? Do you think?
Kind of.
I mean, he could have just been a normal janitor. I
He could
don't
have been
understand
a
why
janitor.
he needed
I still
to...
can't figure out why.
Because it's like no one's going to expect the disabled guy,
The usual
of
suspects,
being
principal.
the bad guy. But yeah. Anyway, he wasn't just acting as a disabled janitor, though. He was literally using the same voice, mannerisms, facial movements as Dustin Hoffman does in Rain Man. And I'm not sure what annoyed me more, the fact he was being offensive to disabled people or the fact he was legitimately just copying Rain Man.
Bit of both, really.
Shame on
Probably
you, Edward
the Rain
Norton.
Man thing.
Shame on you. Do you think you have to rewrite this script? Do you think Edward Norton added that in himself?
Maybe.
Probably.
But fun fact about, as we all know, Marlon Brando is a bit of a expletive to everyone and everyone on every set he's ever been on. On this set, he bullied and annoyed the director so much that the director refused to be on set with him and had to give Robert De Niro a walkie-talkie in order for De Niro to
Liaison?
Yeah, so he gave his instructions to Brando on a walkie-talkie to Robert De Niro. Then Robert De Niro had to direct Brando. That's how bad he hated him. And also, the director himself is the one and only Frank Oz of the Muppet Show fame, the puppeteer for Yoda and Miss Piggy and Fozzie Bear.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I know.
What a
I
strange
was
leap.
really shocked when I saw the name. I was like, it can't be him. And then I clicked, and it's the Frank Oz of, voice of Miss Piggy and Fozzie Bear, puppeteer and voice of Yoda in all the Star Wars films. He made this film, which is really
weird.
Strange.
Has he had filming credentials before in a director?
He's directed a couple of things, but this is so different to anything else.
Oh.
He wanted to get gritty and serious,
Yeah.
and then work with Marlon Brando. Was like, oh no,
No.
don't want to do this now.
Marlon Brando's that's the thing. Marlon Brando kept calling him Little Miss Piggy on set and refused to call him anything else.
Oh,
and it
God.
got to him so much he couldn't be on set with him.
Jesus.
I mean, that would annoy me. But I also kind of think, how many times do they have to film his scenes? Because Marlon Brando isn't in it that much.
He's in a couple of scenes.
Yeah, exactly. So how many times do they?
Why.
But it's Marlon Brando, so filming one of those scenes would have taken 3 weeks.
Yeah, that
because
is true.
he's not a great guy.
No. Is he terrible in all of his films? Because obviously he's terrible in. Well, when I say terrible, I mean expletive, but not acting wise. But
terrible as being a terrible human being on set.
Yeah, that's the
and
one.
behind the scenes.
But
Yeah.
an excellent actor.
Yeah,
A great actor, not a nice person.
just because I know he's supposed to be terrible in Godfather.
Godfather, he was all kind of troubles on set. He
Yeah.
didn't know any of his lines. They actually had to write his lines on paper and stick them to the front of characters who were facing him so that you couldn't see on camera, and he'd read the lines off his other actors' chests. Apocalypse Now, he was awful for. He showed up 3 weeks late, overweight, hadn't read the script or the book it was based on, refused to film for about 2 more weeks. Francis Ford Coppola had to sit with him in the jungles in the Philippines where they were filming on set with all the cast, crew and extras around for literally 2 weeks until Brando agreed to do these 3 scenes, one of which was just Brando in a dark room in front of a camera spewing nothing out his mouth, spewing absolute poo-poo. And they managed to cut that hour-long thing down into a 2-minute speech, which vaguely makes sense for the character, but that's the effort they had to go through to get him in the movie.
So I see, this is what I don't get with actors. This is my I still don't understand about the film industry. How can you be that bad on a set and still get work and still get recognised?
I've no clue.
If he's still like that, yeah, he's a great actor, but surely that would outweigh the production cost and value of him in a film. Is he still in the currently in this film era we're in? Is he still such a star?
He's
I mean, he's been dead for the
He's
last
been dead
15
for
years.
15 years.
I know
the score,
nothing about him.
The score was his last film he completed shooting on.
Really?
Yeah, before he died.
I mean, he died 3 years later, mainly because I just looked it up.
Oh, there we go.
I mean, I knew he was dead, but I didn't know how long ago he died. But the reason that the reason I asked that entire tangent is because he's in the only other film other than Godfather, the score that I've seen him in is a film called A Streetcar Named Desire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a play, right?
Yeah.
It's a play.
We
It
just
was
studied it for
book,
English.
Play.
Yeah.
Tennessee Williams
Yeah.
wrote it.
It's actually pretty good.
It's pretty good.
But I just wondered whether he was terrible, a terrible person in that film as well.
Maybe because he plays a terrible character in that
Yeah,
film.
but
But maybe it was an ego thing as he got more and more famous.
Exactly. That's why I asked, because that was done 20 years before The Godfather. So I kind of think like, oh, was he terrible? Was it only when he got to like more and more fame that the ego got to him?
Maybe.
The score. What would you give the score?
Yeah, how many golden French scepters out of 10 would you rate this film?
4.
You were
About
gonna
that, about that many?
Yeah.
About that many?
Yeah.
Okay, Jack. How many really tasteful representations of people with disabilities would you give this out of 10?
Like, see, because I don't like your scoring system, I'm going to rate it out of 30.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
that's more accurate to how I've laid it out,
yeah.
I think.
So I'd give it like a 17 out of 30.
Let's say 30 is like Rain Man and Forrest Gump, and 0 is like the Ben Stiller bit from the start of Tropic Thunder.
Out of 30, Jack. I see what you've done there.
I would give it 17 out of 30.
Wow.
That's a good rating.
A great score. Adam, what would you give the score? What score would you give the score
What
if
score
you had
would I
to
give
score the score?
I would give it, it's so dull, like 4 Edward Nortons out of a possible 26. It was that dull.
Yeah. I don't even know a number, so.
Yeah. Well, you've already done one.
4.
There we go. Edit that one back in for when you struggled with getting a number the first time.
No, you're going to have to say it again because I went no, so it'd be, yeah.
4.
Nice.
I'd like to see you actually put that where it should be.
So we're now at the section of the show where we talk about the trailers that have come out this week. This week, Captain Marvel, Lion King, and Artemis Fowl have all had trailers. So the first trailer we'll look at this week is Artemis Fowl. I personally, it's based off the famous book series, which was around when we were like young teens, I guess.
Yeah,
or
I guess
just
like
before then,
like 2000, maybe 5 to 10, something like that.
something like that.
Yeah.
I remember reading like the first third of the first book and not liking it, not being interested, and there was a lot of people who were reading it saying it was really good. I think you were the same, weren't you?
Yeah,
Jack?
exactly the same situation. That I was just I read it, and because I read a lot when I was younger, and so I would get through a book, like a 400-page book in a week, and I got through it the first. Okay, yeah, sure. I got through the first half in like 3 or.
Oh, read my book! Oh, I'm gonna read a book. 400 pages in a week.
So I got through the first half in a few days, and I never understood why people liked it. Like, it was, looking back on it, it's a really interesting setting, like high fantasy meets sci-fi, which is what a series of games called the Shadowrun series do as well. And I think that's a really cool, interesting setting. But I think the film, because the film follows Artemis Fowl, which is the same as a book, but he's only like 13 or something.
He's like 10, isn't he?
I think he's 13.
Well, because one thing I was going to mention, the trailer looks okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's like a minute and a half. It's not much to go on.
It's like it all looks pretty okay. I didn't really get a grasp as to what the story is or what's going on, but the guy who's playing Artemis Fowl, he looks like 9-10 years old.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if that's a good choice for like the main character in what's definitely going to become a franchise film.
He'll
it's
age
like,
with the audience, though.
he will age with the audience, but normally you get someone a bit older to play someone that age, because have you ever seen, like, very rarely do you see someone like under the age of 12 give a genuinely good, convincing performance.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing though. You can have genuinely good, convincing performance, which is like basically never. But then you can have decent performances, like the 3 in the first couple Harry Potters. Like they're all right.
Oh, I don't think Philosopher's Stone's very good.
No.
No. But I think they're okay for child actors. I think they're all right.
Good around film 3.
Yeah.
That's when like, oh, I can watch this again.
Yeah, that's when they're like 13. So that's the thing. I think that you like for actors you start getting good at like 12, 13 because all the Stranger Things kids are like
I guess
13, 14. So
there could be hope. But
Did you ever read the Artemis Fowl's book, Adam?
No, I have no idea about. I've heard the name, but I've never heard any of this. So watching the trailer, it's my first jump into it, and it just felt kind of generic. I don't know if that's maybe because like the book set the tone and lots of things have copied it, but to me this felt, all the shots felt like Pan and Valerian, and weirdly like, I don't know, like Men in Black, but like Men in Black 3, which wasn't done very well, that weird CG in that. Or it all felt like an amalgamation of all this. There was nothing standout apart from the bit with the girl in the white dress. Her movement, it was very weird and non-organic, but like butterfly. I quite like that.
I think this film will probably just fly under the radar because in my head, it's one of those young adult novels, young adult novel trilogies which we've seen before. They've all been made into movies now. The Divergent series, Hunger Games, Maze Runner, Percy Jackson. It's just so oversaturated. This kid's the special one and he's going to save the world. That kind of plot and that whole arc is so overdone and oversaturated. I don't see why people still care for it.
Do you think, though, because this is such a younger main character, where all of the ones you've just listed are
late teens,
mid-teens, he's 10?
I don't know.
I mean,
I'm not sure how old he's supposed to be, but
well, he looks about 10,
he looks
11.
10, 11.
Do you think it's kind of doing the first Harry Potter thing, where it's young enough where if you are that age, it will catch you,
Maybe.
and then whatever happens, you're going to go with it?
It'll still make a profit. People will still see it. They'll still make a second and a third one.
I think they will do what Percy Jackson did and only get to a sequel. I think if it's like,
But I just feel this whole kid saving the world, I suppose it's like that fantasy kids have, and it like fulfills that. But there's so much of it already, especially over the past 10 years. We've just been exploded with young adult novels being made into movies. Like The Mortal Engines is coming out soon. That's another one.
I'm kind of interested in that one. Just because
It's
it's such a weird concept.
It's a weird concept. That's like different, but it's still on that same vein.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's our thoughts on Artemis Fowl.
One thing, just off the teen, like young teen genre of books, what I'm surprised they never made more of one film on is the Alex Rider series.
Oh yes, because that had a massive budget and barely made any money.
I remember this film because it was the first time I had like my disagreement with an English teacher, because like, I've never read the book, but I think the film is great. He's like, no, you'll read the book in class, and he'd be like, that film is rubbish. I was like, no, it won't. I was like, oh, this film, like, there's so much better action. There's like more stakes. And
there was a lot of changes.
Yeah, it was weird. Like after I read the book for class, I was like, it's completely different. And I am surprised that there isn't like a resurgence of that film. I think that's a really cool thing to go back to.
I'm
like
surprised
Netflix.
It hasn't been a Netflix series or an Amazon series.
Personally, I think it's going to be like a Prime thing because it's very similar to like Jack Ryan. I don't know if you've seen that, but it's Jack Ryan for kids.
I just want to see those original, that 6-book series that I grew up with. Yeah. I'm guessing you did as well. Read them all. I want to see that Alex Rider 6-story arc just in some way brought to screen.
I think that'd be really good.
I think with the success of Jack Ryan and Amazon Prime, that will be more likely than you think. I think there will be, obviously the teen audience is something that everyone wants, and that did really well commercially. I think if they're smart, that's probably the next era, like young teen spy thrillers, because there's none of that.
As long as they just stop at book 6, because there were 2 or 3 after that. I just didn't care for.
There was at least 3.
Were they not good?
It might have been me growing out of it,
I think.
But also they weren't great.
No. So obviously, like, growing out of it is one factor of it, but they also just weren't as good because it was just like it was.
He'd gone.
Yeah. Okay, it's fixed itself a bit now. It's like they were kind of he was beating a dead horse basically.
Yeah.
Like
the author had seen like, oh, my like box set of these 6 books is selling really well. Everyone's loving them. I should write more. And it was like, no, maybe not.
Slight tangent off of you. We can include this. Who cares? Of beating a dead horse. Did you see that tweet that Peter put out that was like, stop using anti-animal imagery? So
instead of saying beating a dead horse, say feed a fed horse.
Yeah. It's like 6 phrases that are all just like that.
It's awful. Wait, I've got them here. I saved them because it's funny.
Yeah.
Do you want to put it in, but without this bit of context, and see if anyone notices?
What we just
instead of feeding a horse, instead of overfeeding a horse to death, then kicking it,
and then.
Okay, why not just not use a dead horse instead of clubbing a baby seal?
Here we go. Okay. So
how about instead of
this is the tweet from Peter. Words matter, and as our understanding of social justice evolves, our language evolves with it. Here's how to remove speciesism from your daily conversations. Instead of using killing 2 birds with 1 stone, say feed 2 birds with 1 scone. Instead of saying be the guinea pig, say be the test tube. Instead of saying beat a dead horse, say feed a fed horse. And then they go on to tweet afterwards, just as it Just as it became unacceptable to use racist, homophobic, or ableist language, phrases that trivialise cruelty to animals will vanish as more people begin to appreciate animals for who they are and start bringing home the bagels instead of the bacon.
Confirmed. Peter are all furries.
I like bringing home the bagels, though.
Bringing home the bagels instead of bringing home the bacon.
I just, yeah, I think it's...
I would like to see them write that tweet and have some guy over his shoulder going, careful. Because this will get us in a lot of trouble where you write the next sentence.
Yeah, I feel comparing it to, like, racism is very like, okay.
Like, saying a racist phrase is the same as saying two birds with one stone, because animals matter the same as humans.
Like,
no,
okay.
maybe not.
Okay, Peter. Okay.
Anyway, Optimus Fowl. I'm guessing we're all,
Yeah.
If it comes out when I'm at home, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Basically, that's how that's the kind of film.
I mean,
Anyway.
it's also only a minute and a half long, so I don't think that we really get enough
don't
of...
get
This is the announcement trailer, right?
Yeah, probably.
Okay,
Yeah.
then yeah.
Next, the Captain Marvel trailer.
Oh, boy.
Oh boy, we got all the Marvel fanboys.
Yay.
Oh, Captain Marvel.
Look how generic this film
Look
looks.
how generic and average it looks.
Yeah.
And look how it's like, oh, look, we're a superhero film with a woman character. Come see us.
Why can't they
Thanks.
just make a good one?
Just make a good one and don't put it in my face that it's a female lead. Just let
Yeah.
her be a female lead without bringing attention to it.
How has Black Widow not had a film yet? I know it's coming in
don't
like
know.
2025 or whatever, but like,
Because she's
come
really
on.
depressing. If you want the truth, it's just she's really depressing.
Yeah, but like,
They are planning on doing a. There was a rumor of a TV, Marvel streaming service
Oh, yeah.
of her and Hawkeye, because obviously you
Okay.
can't make a Hawkeye film because nothing will happen,
Hmm.
and the Black Widow film is just like a spy thriller.
Yeah, but like the only reason Black Widow's in the Avengers to begin with was to be the female character. As an Avenger, she's useless. She just like hits people. She's just a martial arts person.
Which I do find funny compared to like Iron Man, who's just like a walking tank
Yeah.
that can just shoot missiles and destroy like planets.
That is the sole reason that they've brought Captain Marvel in, is because she is like the apex kind of hero. She's the one about with the Superman-esque comparison.
The thing is I thought that's what Doctor Strange was. He can like manipulate everything.
Space and time.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought he was. I thought that was his role. And then to bring someone else in and be like, now they're the most powerful.
Yeah.
Oh, and now they're the most
Oh wait,
powerful.
now this villain's the most powerful
That's
because
called
they've got
the,
to fight someone.
War Perfect. Star Trek fans will correct me. It's basically where to
No,
introduce
they
a new
won't. No one's
character.
watching this or listening to this.
Whoever, if you want to introduce a new character and to make them strong, you make them beat up the next strongest character, and that was Worf in Star Trek. It's the same principle. This is how you demonstrate it in like the Marvel films. She will beat Thanos.
It's
to
like
show she's
in
more
it's like
powerful.
in Dragon Ball. That's what they. That's why like in the 80s or whatever, the power level. Oh, 9,000 meme, good meme.
Best
But
meme.
but
Only
like
meme.
That
now.
meme is over 9,000. Am I right?
Audio.
But like I don't know what it is exactly now because I don't care. But it's like over 1 million because they just had to keep on one-upping themselves.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what the trouble you run into when you just keep on getting these really really powerful characters. So then I don't know, because that's the thing. Like in the next film, it's just gonna be so like after Infinity War, it's just gonna be like someone comes along.
So who do we get to fight the most strong character now?
Yeah, exactly. Just get Captain Marvel in because
Yeah.
she'll come. Like I don't know. I hope Thanos doesn't die. I hope that like she uses like her brain to do it rather than just pure fighting strength or something. I don't know.
I'm just like, with all the Marvel stuff, I know there's a huge fan base for it out there who are really involved. I like the films, I watch the films, I enjoy the films, but I'm just like, they're okay overall. I mean, and this from the trailer, Captain Marvel just looks bang average.
I know nothing. So all the other Marvel films I've had some grasp on. I know nothing about Captain Marvel or like any of the iterations of it. So to me, this is kind of it's not the most appealing of all of them. I like that it's not set on Earth for a lot of it. I like it's somewhere else, kind of like how I like.
It's all set on Earth.
They're in space for some of it. You know, I mean, like they're not fighting in New York.
Oh.
It's not New York being blown up. It's not LA being blown up. It's someone in space for a bit. which I liked about Guardians because I got really bored of just everyone destroying Manhattan or something.
Yeah.
So that's what I like. I like how accurate it is to what she looks like now in terms of like costume, because you rarely get that with comic books in anything, which I thought was kind of cool to see.
By the way, the mohawk looks dumb.
Yeah, it looks awful
it looks
in my
so
opinion.
bad.
Yeah, it's a weird thing to pull off because the character in the comics has like shaved side bits, so it makes sense that she's got like the tuft at the top.
Yeah.
But
it's like
It's
she
only with
has
her
when
helmet
she's
on.
walking around,
Yeah.
she has normal hair, and then when she puts the helmet on, this like red mohawk comes out, and it's like,
Yeah. Also, one thing that I thought was that I've literally only just thought of, the comparisons to Green Lantern.
yeah, I've seen a lot of those where I don't know about her, like what she is, but yeah, she's an Air Force pilot.
just hearing that now, and just thinking about the trailer, the Air Force thing, the space thing, the
Yeah.
energy thing.
It's really
It was-
similar.
Well, they are from the era which was they'll make a character, someone else made the exact same character, different name.
Yeah.
It's like there's 2 Batmans in Marvel basically. There's there's 3 Supermans in Marvel. It's all backwards and forwards between them.
Well, plus the fact that Top Gun came out as well in the 80s, so they were probably like,
Yeah.
let's use a fighter
I'll
pilot.
be your wingman.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just going to let that sit there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just let that
Anyway.
reference sink in a bit. I'm excited for it. I like them.
Captain
I
Marvel.
like these films.
I'll see it. I'll probably think, it was average, and then I'll see Infinity War 2
Yeah.
and be like, okay, so they put Captain Marvel out so she could come and save the day at the end of Infinity War.
Yeah, it's a bit. If they did this film earlier, would have been much better because it's another origin film. Also, this is what I've just remembered I was going to bring up. Have you noticed a trend in trailers where the shot starts upside down and then slowly turns the right way up?
I've noticed that recently.
It was in the Artemis Fowl one, and it's nearly the similar shot. There's like they do it 3 times in the Captain Marvel one. Is that like a cinematic trend now that looks
Maybe.
cool?
I don't think it looks cool, though. I think it looks all right.
Can I mention for a second, when you click on a trailer on YouTube and watch it, but the first 5 seconds of it is a 5-second mini trailer for the trailer.
Yeah.
What's the point? Stop.
Well, you know why they do it.
They're all companies. Stop.
You know why they do it?
Why?
Because then they can like just put that as their ads, so that before you can have the 5-second skip, so that you get a condensed 5-second version of the trailer to get you to watch it.
Super annoying.
Oh yeah, it's dumb, and they can't. I don't know why they can't just have that purely for their advertising trailer, but I don't know.
Well, the
Companies are
trailers
boring.
for trailers.
I don't know why I
at
say
the
companies are
moment.
boring.
You get like the trailer coming on Friday,
Yeah.
and you get like a 10-second one as well. I think they're a bit dumb. So
Anyway.
we'll get a trailer for a trailer for a trailer, and my head will explode.
Yeah.
Next trailer, The Lion King remake. The live-action remake of The Lion King, directed by Jon Favreau, who did The Jungle Book a couple of years ago.
Did he? Sorry, just quickly. Did he just star in, or did he direct Chef?
Directed Chef.
Nice.
Chef is
okay.
a really good movie.
Chef is
You should all
great.
go watch that.
Yeah.
Directed by Jon Favreau.
I do need to watch Chef.
A real nice movie. Anyway, The Lion King, it looks like
The Lion
a
King.
shot-for-shot remake just from this. It might be just this teaser trailer because they did the whole Pride Rock scene from the start and everything, and had the voiceover of everything in the light, you alone, and everything. Stay away from the dark. But in terms of CG, how it looked okay.
Yeah.
Like the Jungle Book did. It's fairly impressive. It's just, do we need it?
No.
No.
The answer is no. We don't.
Because
need
you
it.
can't go anywhere else with it because it's it's beloved, it's Disney, so they will just do the same thing again. There is no need for it apart from putting it in the new album of we're live action
films.
That's another thing. It's not live action.
Yeah, exactly.
CG.
There's no. It's just as animated.
Yeah, it's
as
3D.
the
Animated in
original
a
was.
different way.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I can't see where you would go with this or what you do. You don't need to retell the original. There was no problems or like issues.
No.
That's like, if we only did this, the story would make 1,000 times more sense. Unless they're just going to show a really detailed and gruesome stampede.
No, they're going to do what they did last time, where it's just going to be him falling in and then like cutting to Simba.
But it's
and
edgy
then...
now, isn't it?
No,
You can hear Donald Glover screaming.
no. Donald,
Wait,
Donald
he's gonna
Glover
be-
isn't being kid Simba. Donald
Yeah.
Oh, is
Glover
he not?
is being adult Simba.
Who's kid
How would he do
Just
Kid
some
Simba?
kid.
It's
Just
just like
some
him, but
kid.
just like a higher version.
I reckon he could do it. He's a very talented actor.
He is a very talented man.
But I think I'm just getting a bit sick of all of the live action ones coming out so like soon, because like I didn't mind it, So there was Jungle Book like 2 years ago,
Yeah.
and then but
then,
just this year,
even we've had
or next year.
Cinderella was like 4 years
yeah.
ago, and then we had Beauty and the Beast. We've got a teaser for Aladdin came out like a few months ago.
Exactly.
I'm not sure. They're planning a lot more of them.
Sorry, I got a cough.
Yeah, see, that's my problem with it. Like, I don't mind them coming out, say, once a year, because that's about what the ratio that they were coming out with was before. But, like, they've got Lion King coming out, like, early next year, then, like, Aladdin and Dumbo.
Dumbo, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm pretty sure they're all coming out in 2019. Like, I know Disney wants to, like, be top earner in every single month, but this is kind of ridiculous.
It's just going back to what I said on episode 2 of the Bargain Bin podcast when we were talking about trailers again. I was talking about Detective Pikachu and Toy Story 4, and I said, why can't companies just leave the properties alone? Why do they have to keep milking them for money? And it's the same thing with Disney taking all these animated classics, trying to remake them live action or 3D CG. You don't need to. The originals are great. Just leave them alone. I know you want money, but come up with some ideas, please.
It's the new 3D. It's like when James Cameron did Avatar, everything was in 3D.
Yeah.
This is just one of the cycles.
Yeah.
We'll eventually be done with it, like we're done with 3D.
Yeah, they will be done with it once they've cycled through all their
Oh,
properties.
no, one will crash, and they will never do another one.
Well, no.
I don't know which one would crash,
though. They will keep going.
What-
will keep going.
what
Because
one-
they are all going to make money.
What one do you think is going to crash?
They're not stopping all the Star Wars films because Solo didn't do well.
I think, well, they're ramping down. They're not doing as many now.
Yeah, there isn't one coming out this Christmas. Wasn't there
they've-
planned?
Well, no, because it was
gonna do one each
Solo
year.
this year.
Oh,
So they're
okay,
doing
yeah,
one a
yeah.
year.
They've
and Solo was
cancelled
this year.
I
all
thought-
the spin-offs that we're going to do. They said we're not doing a Boba Fett one. We're not doing an Obi-Wan
They're still
one.
doing the Boba Fett TV show.
Oh yeah, they've changed that to do Jon Favreau's Mandalorian.
Yeah.
But they were going to do a film for Boba Fett, Obi-Wan, and someone else. I can't remember the name.
Jar Jar.
Yeah, a whole Jar Jar prequel.
Wait, are you?
No, they're not doing a Jar Jar.
They're not doing a Jar Jar film. So the Lion King, we all think it looks okay in terms of technical stuff, but we're all like, I don't care, I don't need it.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll
We're
probably
definitely
all
gonna
end
see
up
it.
seeing it. So
I haven't seen any of the live action Disneys.
have you not?
No, not a
Do
single
you know
one.
what? Neither have I.
The Jungle Book.
I thought I had, but I haven't.
The Jungle Book is worth a watch
I liked
I
Jungle
would
Book
say.
growing up.
because they have like Christopher Walken doing like a kind of a talking singing thing, and he's King Louis, and it's all very creepy. It's kind of a lot darker than the cartoon, but it's worth a watch.
Yeah, fair enough. That's what I remember when it was coming out, was people asking what are they going to do for musical stuff. So
I just realised, because I had in my head, I wonder when they're going to do a Tarzan one. They already did
They
a
did a
Tarzan
Tarzan
one.
one.
Yeah.
I didn't even mention that. So our third film for the week, as you know, when we go to the bargain bin every week, we like to try and pick out a film either one of us has seen and wants to show the other ones, or one we've never seen before. And this week, Jack picked out this film.
It's Team America, World Police.
Team America from 2004. The
Great
puppet comedy by the creators of South Park, Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
F yeah.
Yeah.
It's a radio
yeah.
version of it.
Yeah.
F yeah.
I'd never seen this. Adam had never seen it.
Never seen it.
It's a great film.
It's great.
I love
It
their
is
humour so
hilarious.
much.
I love South Park. I'm a big South Park fan. I really like all the stuff Trey Parker and Matt Stone have done. So I don't know why I've never watched it, but I loved it from start to finish.
See, I'm not a fan of South Park.
Are you not?
But no, not really. It's not like, I get it, but it's just not my thing. But I love this. I think maybe this is like, because this is, I don't know, this nailed it for me. The comedy, it's offensive but funny, self-aware but clever. It's
Just
all good.
the whole thing is done with puppets, like old Thunderbird style.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I love.
Even just the puppets walking, they make that laugh out loud funny.
Yeah.
There can be no sound on the screen at all. You just watch the puppet walk and you laugh out loud. It's hilarious.
It's so good. Like every time I watch it, and in fairness, I hadn't watched it for maybe like 2 years beforehand, but just all of it just starts coming back, and there were just bits that I would start laughing beforehand because I knew what was coming up. The transformation sequence is it's so good. It's so good.
I'm not sure how much of this film
this
we
is
can
hard.
talk about.
Yeah.
If you know South Park, you know what that's like. This is on the same level of offensive stuff and stuff we can't talk about on radio.
But the thing is that I find it funny that they got away with a lot of this. I mean, they probably didn't at the time. They probably loaded like, people being like, oh, or whatever. But they obviously, because I watched the 6 Days to Air, the South Park documentary, and they talked about how in the first few seasons of South Park, they couldn't get away with like anything because obviously they were a new show, and it was only in like seasons like 3, 4, 5 that they could start getting away with some of the more like outrageous stuff. And I don't know when South Park originally aired, but I think it was like
mid-90s,
yeah, exactly,
early 90s.
96, 97. So like, I wonder whether they were at the point of South Park that they could get away with this kind of humor, or whether
Maybe.
like this was where they got away with it.
Obviously South Park's still going on and new episodes are still being made, but that's because it's like a longevity thing. People know what South Park is. They know not to get into it if they don't like that stuff. But if they tried to make a film like Team America today, it would not happen.
Yeah.
It would
I don't-
100%
No, not at all.
never
Do you
happen
not think
again.
that all of the stuff in it would have been worse in 2004? That's way nearer 9/11.
Yeah, but people, it's a generation thing, and it's like people have, as a society, we've changed since then. Like, even like 5 years ago, you could get away with stuff that there's no way you could get away with today, because people just don't accept it anymore, which is fine.
Yeah.
People don't like this, don't like it, don't accept it, but it's kind of sad that things can't get made because of that.
That's what the guy who plays Jay from The Inbetweeners, he recently went on a talk show and talked about how he knows he was lucky to get that at that time, because they're never going to be able to make anything like
It was
that
on
again.
Good Morning Britain,
Oh God.
and Piers Morgan was asking him,
great.
Everyone's favourite talk
Yeah.
show host.
he was like, do you think the snowflakes would accept The Inbetweeners if it came out today? And it was like...
Side note, have you seen that interview? It's really, really weird. He's like, hey, you can come over to my house and just watch it with me.
Yeah.
And my kid's like, oh, it's almost sad.
What, Piers Morgan?
Yeah,
Or-
he's like,
He's
me
like,
and my family watch
kids,
it all the time.
I watch The Inbetweeners with my kids all the time, and we love it. Jay, come over to our house and watch it with us.
All right, Piers.
That's
Okay.
two things
okay,
you don't
Piers.
want. A, to watch The Inbetweeners with anyone you're related to. And
B-
two, sit next to Piers Morgan when it happens.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear
Anyway.
an interesting fact about Team America?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
do.
sure, go on.
All the background foliage in the Panama scene is cannabis plants.
I saw a good fact that the outside of Kim Jong Il's palace, the set for that is a human body with Chinese takeout boxes on it.
Oh.
And in one scene, you can see his eye blink.
Oh.
It's a great film.
It's
Yeah,
a great film.
it really
is.
And
fun.
also, Matt Damon's part in it is great.
Oh, Matt Damon's amazing.
There's this whole subplot where obviously they're taking the mickey out of a load of actors and they've made puppets of them all. And Matt Damon's puppet is voiced by Matt Damon. And it's great because the only thing he says is, Matt Damon.
I forgot how many celebrities are in this. Like, there is...
I think Matt Damon and George Clooney both voiced their own characters
Yeah.
because they're big South Park fans. But apart from that, no one else was in it.
Although-
really.
I meant just as in, like, persona,
Oh,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, the character.
Alec Baldwin was reportedly very amused by the project. Which I imagine is exactly what he said. Just, I'm amused.
I mean, to be honest, it's the kind of thing that if you're on South Park or anything that they do, like, you can't be offended.
No.
Because, like...
I'd be offended if I was that famous and wasn't included in
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Do you know how fast their turnarounds are for making an episode of South Park?
Is it 6 days?
6
Because
days.
I
We
referenced 6
literally just
days to
mentioned
where the...
Oh my god, I'm becoming Jack. Jesus Christ.
Can we just mention the special effects on Piranha
Piranha?
3D for a moment?
Yeah, I was completely out of that.
Anything else to say about Team America World Police? Or are we ready to give it
Arbitrary
a score?
ratings.
Of how many Matt Damons out of 10? How many Matt Damons out of 10 would you give it, Nick?
I would give it a Matt Damon out of 10.
Nice.
How many racist Middle Eastern puppets out of 10 would you give it, Jack?
Oh, me? I would give it... I'd say... I would give it 47 racist Middle Eastern stereotypes out of 10.
Adam, how many Kim Jong Il pairs of glasses would you give it out of 10?
I would give it 11. Because Kim Jong
Il.
Il can have as many glasses as he pleases because he is our supreme leader.
Can we say that?
Was.
I mean, he's been dead for the last, 10 years?
Can you spell?
Now that's a joke. Anyway, so That was the Bargain Bin podcast for this week. We've watched Piranha 3D, The Score, and Team America World Police. We've talked about this week's trailers, and we've played our gamey game.
Mm-hmm. However, we haven't bought any DVDs this week, so we can't tell you what we're going to watch next week.
It's probably Piranha 3 Double D.
Maybe,
It definitely is going to be
it
that.
It's Gunless.
Because it will be there.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully.
It'll probably be next to it, to be honest.
Yeah.
So anyway, I've been Nick.
I've been Adam.
And I've been Jack.
Goodbye.
Bye. Email us at thebargainbinpodcast@gmail.com.
At Brayford Radio, at Brayford Radio Station on Instagram. Bye.